Hello, everyone. Welcome to the APH Virtual Excel Academy. Today's topic, understanding my breath. We are so glad to have you with us today. This session is built for students who have multiple disabilities and might have somebody who's assisting them participate. That is okay. We understand that you might not be able to write in the chat, or your assistant might not have time to write in the chat. If you can, that's great, but it's not required. We are glad to have you. If before we get started, your assistant or you want to type in and say hi to us in the chat, we would love to know that you're with us today. I'll welcome everyone again. It is the APH Virtual Excel Academy, and today's topic is understanding my breath. We have a special guest with us to talk all about this. Her name is Amy Query. And I am going to stop sharing and I'm going to turn it over to Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, everyone.
It is all yours.
Okay, I am so excited to be here. I saw that Michelle said hi to us in the chat. Hi, Michelle. I'm so excited for all of you to join me today. There's a couple of reasons I'm excited. One, I love to learn. And today we get to learn about something that is really, really important. And we're going to learn about our bodies and why that's so important. And the other reason I'm excited is because we're going to get to make something. We're going to make a craft, and I absolutely love to make things. So we are going to get started. Okay, if you have any comments, you can put it in the chat box. So first, I want to talk about how do you know that bodies are really important? What can our bodies do? We're going to talk about that. What can our bodies do? We have hands. You can find your hands. Our hands can feel things. We have our heads. Our heads can move back and forth. I see in the comments that Nadia said we have feet. That's right. Our feet can sometimes help us walk. Sometimes our feet, we can feel our toes wiggle and we can feel things that are around our feet on the ground. Our bodies can do so many things. Can you think of anything else that our bodies can do? I see another comment. Monica says she uses her mouth. Absolutely. We use our mouth. Sometimes we use our mouth to eat. Sometimes we use our mouth to smile, to tell somebody hi. I also see another comment about movement. You are so right. Our bodies move, and we are going to talk about our bodies moving and practice our bodies moving. And I see another comment that Zach says, our ears. Our ears can help us. Our ears sometimes can hear sounds. They can help protect us. We can feel our ears. Sometimes people wear earrings and jewelry on their ears. So let's talk about something else our bodies can do. They can help us breathe. If you put your hand on your chest is right underneath your neck, or you can put your hand on your belly, or you can just close your eyes and you can just feel your breath. I'm feeling my breath go in and out. Sometimes it might feel like it's going out or in. But you can feel your hand move. That is your breath. Did you notice that movement? So sometimes our breath can feel fast or slow. So I'm going to show you something. This is a giant pinwheel. If you can't see it, a pinwheel is something that moves, and I am holding one that is bigger than my head. It has yellow and white in a pattern. And this pinwheel that I'm holding next to my head, you will see that it moves fast. If you're quiet, you might hear it move fast. Sometimes my breath feels like it's moving really fast, like this pinwheel. Sometimes it feels like it's moving slow. Now I have spinning my pinwheel, so it's moving very slow, just like my voice. So our pinwheel moved fast and slow, just like our breath. When does my breath feel fast? When my body is moving around, it feels fast. So let's practice moving our body so we can see what it feels like to have a fast breath. Okay? So if we have our friends help us, or if we can do this by ourselves, either way, you can stand up or you can sit down. And we're gonna put our arms out in front of our chest, and we're going to move them around each other. And we're gonna do it as fast as we can. I'm moving my arms circling around each other fast, 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 fast. And if you can't move your arms, you can maybe wiggle your body side to side, fast, 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 fast. I'm moving my shoulders front and back, and my head's moving side to side. I'm starting to move my body fast. If I put my head towards the ceiling and I go up towards the ceiling as tall as I can, and I come back down, and my back goes out, and my body gets scrunched closer together, and I go up and down and up and down and up and down. I am moving my body, and I'm going to put my hand back on my chest. Whew, my breath is starting to feel a little bit faster. Sometimes my breath feels fast when I'm playing, when I'm exercising like we just did, when I am feeling upset or frustrated. There are a lot of different times, or maybe right now when I'm excited, my breath feels really fast. Now let's practice our breath feeling slow and see what that feels like. So I'm going to sit in my chair, and I'm going to just put my arms and sit as still as I can. So we're going to try to hold our body still, not move our arms, try not to move our legs, and sit as still as we can. I am starting to notice that my breath is getting slower. Do you notice that? You can put your hand on your chest, or you can just close your eyes, and you can notice your breath getting slower. Sometimes my breath feels slow when I feel calm, when I am trying to learn from my teacher or listen. I see a comment from Nadia that she notices body getting quiet and getting still. That's true. So it's really important. Sometimes when we wake up, our breath feels slow when we're trying to get out of bed and wake our bodies up. And it is important to practice having a slow breath so that we are ready to listen. If you can touch your ear, we're going to listen and we're going to learn. Okay? So, does anyone else want to share how their breath feels right now? Does it feel fast or slow? I have Monica and Zach both saying that their breath feels slow. You must be ready to learn and to listen. So, our breath is important. Why? Because it keeps our bodies moving and it also helps us feel calm. And we have another comment from Cami who says that they feel slow, their breath feels slow too. And that helps us feel calm and it helps us feel happy. And it also helps us talk to each other. And we have another comment from Nadia saying their breath feels slow too. That's so great. I'm glad you are noticing your breath. So we are going to talk about 3 different parts of our bodies. 1, 2, 3, that help us breathe. First, we're going to start up here. Can you find your nose? If you can find it, touch your nose. Or someone might be able to touch your nose to show you that our noses help us breathe. And if we move a little bit lower on our face, I'm going to touch my mouth. You can find and touch your mouth. Our mouths also help us breathe. Can you find it? And then we are going to move a little bit lower on our bodies. We're going to follow our neck down to our chest. And we have something called lungs. And our lungs help us breathe. But I'm not feeling my lungs. I'm feeling my chest. I think it's interesting that our lungs are inside of our body. They are behind our chest. So we cannot feel our lungs like we can feel our nose. And I'm touching my nose, or we can feel our mouth, and I'm touching my mouth. I'm touching my chest now, but I cannot feel my lungs, but they are there, even though we can't feel them. And they help us breathe. So we are going to make our lungs. Here's where we get to make our activity. Are you ready? This is the fun part. I am going to first show you the things that you need, the materials that you need to make our lungs. Okay, and that way you can get those materials ready if you need to. So first, we need a piece of paper. I am holding up a red piece of construction paper. You can choose any color that you'd like, white, black, yellow, or any kind of paper. It could feel rough or smooth. Then, if you have scissors around, I'm holding my big, long, sharp scissors in my hand. If you have scissors, you could grab those. Next, you will need some tape. I am holding the tape next to my face. Next, you will need 2 straws. You can use any kind of straws that you want. I have 2 thin yellow straws that bend. They move back and forth, but your straws don't have to bend.
Hi, Amy. This is Robin from the background. I want to let you know that Isabel has raised her hand. We have
Okay.
given her permission to talk. So, Isabel, go ahead and unmute and talk to Amy.
Webinar, lower hand button.
So I've seen the Addams Family movie on Prime Video. The Addams woman actually staples her earlobes as earrings.
Oh my goodness. Do you think that felt good on her body?
No.
Oh my gosh, I do not think that felt well either. That probably hurt.
Yeah.
And she might have been in pain on her ear. So
Yeah.
sometimes our bodies can hurt or they can feel good, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd wear earrings than staples in my ears.
You wouldn't want that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think I would want that either. Thank you for sharing more about our bodies. They are so important to take care of. And that's one reason we're talking about our breathing, is because we want to take care of our bodies. We don't want to hurt our bodies like she might have done, huh? With the staple. We want to take care of them. And that's why breathing and practice our breathing is so important to take care of our body. Thanks for sharing, Isabel. Okay. I am going to keep showing the materials that we need. We're almost ready. So next, if you have a pencil or a pen, or you don't really need it, you could just use scissors, but if you wanted to have this, you can use it while we make our nose and our mouth. I am holding just a black colored pencil next to me that I will be using today. And the last thing we need are little baggies. You can use paper bags, you could use Ziploc bags, you could use any little bags that you'd like. I have 2 medium-sized plastic bags, and this is what I'm going to use today. Did everyone have time to get their supplies? I hope you did. I am going to show you an example of what we're making. So in my hand, I have my craft that I made with my body. Nadia, I'm so glad that you have your supplies and that you are ready to go. I have my 2 straws, and I have my picture or my drawing of my nose, my picture a little bit lower of my mouth, and then I have my 2 baggies attached to the straw. This is what we are going to make. This is our lungs that we are going to practice breathing into today. So we are going to get started with our supplies and our craft. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to find our 2 straws. find those 2 straws and find your 2 bags. This is the trickiest part of the whole craft. We are going to open our bag, put our straw inside of our bag, just a tiny bit. And then we're going to squeeze our bag, squeeze it as best you can around our straw. And I am squeezing my bag around my straw so that it gets nice and tight around my straw. Then I'm going to take my tape and grab one piece. And I'm going to find the top of my bag and the bottom of my straw. I'm going to put the tape around my bag, the very top, the very edge that you can feel. I'm going to wrap my tape so tight as I can. And if you need help, that's okay, just ask. And then it will look like this. A straw, about an inch in our bag, and our tape helping our bag stay on our straw. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We get more practice. So I am going to take my other straw and my other bag. And I'm going to put my straw just a little bit inside my bag. And I'm going to squish, bring both my hands together on the bag and squeeze it against the straw. And then, just like before, I'm going to tape the very top of my bag that I can feel around as tight as I can. And now my straw and my bag are attached. I'm going to give you just a couple more seconds to finish that step. Is there anyone who needs more time? Okay, I'm going to move on to our next step. Next, we're going to find our 2 straws. I have 1 straw in my right hand and 1 straw in my left hand. And I am going to move my right and my left hand and these straws together so that my 2 straws are touching. And after they are touching, I'm going to get another piece of tape. I just need 1 piece of tape. And I'm going to put the tape around both my straws so that they are stuck together. You can't pull them apart. If I try to pull them apart, they don't come apart because the tape is holding them. So the straws are like our neck. There's a tube inside our neck, if you can feel your neck. And there's a tube, there's a throat, and there's an esophagus. And it goes down to our lungs. And that is what our straws are. And the baggies at the bottom of the straw, if you can feel those are our lungs that are right behind our chest. All of these things help us breathe. Okay, we're going to go to the next step. So, if you want to grab your pencil or your scissors, it's up to you. I'm going to draw my nose and mouth first because that helps me cut. But if you don't have a pencil or a pen, you can just cut your very best to the shape of a nose and a mouth. So I'm taking my pencil and I'm taking my paper and I'm just going to draw a shape that I think looks like a nose. The line kind of comes down straight and then goes out to the side and curves around like a circle and then out to the side and back up. I will give you a second to draw your nose or to cut your nose out of the paper. The next step is to draw our mouth and to cut the mouth from the paper. And if you need help from a friend, just ask. So I'm just going to draw a couple, one squiggly line on top, one straight line in the middle, and one curved line underneath. I'm not an artist. I haven't practiced drawing very much. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just learning about the parts of our body. Next, we are all done with our pencil. We can set it down, or if you're done cutting, you can set down your scissors. I am going to cut out my mouth and nose that I drew with my scissors. These shapes are a little tricky to cut, especially if they're smaller. And if you had a friend cut it, you can just make sure you feel the shape of the mouth and the shape of the nose. Okay, does anybody need more time? Looks like everyone's finished, so we are going to now do our last step of our craft. So I'm gonna find my nose, because my nose is at the very top of my craft here, of my throat. I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm just going to tape the nose onto the straw at the very top. Can you feel the top of the straw? You can just tape your nose up there at the top. Remember, our noses helps us breathe. Then, after I tape my nose, I can go move down on the straw a little bit. And then I'm going to tape my mouth, because remember, our noses and then our mouths come next, and our mouths help us breathe. And I'm going to take a piece of tape And I'm going to tape the mouth. And if you kept feeling down the straw, you would get to our baggies or our lungs, just like our own bodies. Is everyone done with their craft? You can tell me yes or no, or if you need more time. Okay. Monica says yes. She's all done with her craft. Okay. So now we are going to get to practice. When we're all done making our craft, we're going to practice making our lungs breathe. So they're going to go in and out. Does anyone know how we're going to make them breathe? Cami says yes. What do you think? How are we going to make our lungs breathe? Well, oh, Monica says with her mouth. Cami says breathe into it. You guys are right. So right. Okay, so let's practice breathing into it. Now, I'm going to show you. If you breathe, you can make your lungs breathe fast, like my pinwheel, or slow. Remember how we talked about that? So I'm going to, if you guys want to take your craft and breathe in to the straw, or if you want your friend to breathe into it, and you can feel the lungs. Ready? I felt air go in, my lungs expanded, they got bigger when I breathed in to the straw. And then when I stop breathing into the straw, I can feel my lungs get flatter or contract. Those are some big words, expand or contract. That's what our lungs do to breathe. It means they get bigger and then they get smaller. So you can do that a couple times and feel our lungs getting bigger and smaller. You might even hear the sound of our bags when we breathe in and out, in and out. So I'm going to breathe kind of slow. I just made some really slow, calm breaths into my craft. But if I wanted to make it and feel it go faster, I can do that too. I just have to breathe faster and blow in more air into my straws. So this is such a fun way to practice and feel what our lungs might feel like inside of our body when we breathe. What do you guys like better? Do you like going fast, making your breath go fast, or slow into your lungs? Zach likes to make his go slow. I kind of like mine to go slow too. It's a little bit harder for me to move mine fast. Monica says fast if she is happy. That's true. When we feel happy or a little bit excited, our breath goes a little bit faster, and that's kind of a fun feeling sometimes. Okay, now we're all done with our craft. We have one last thing to do, and then we'll be all done with our activity today. So if you have your optional, you don't have to have this was optional, but if you have your optional either ball or pinwheel and flower or a feather or tissue paper or anything like that, we're going to practice with our own bodies, doing our breaths, okay, as I read a little story. So we just practiced breathing fast and slow with our cracked lungs, and now we're going to practice with our own bodies now that we know what it feels like. So I'm going to grab my book, and I'm going to show you the cover. The cover has a little girl, a little drawing of a little girl, and she is smiling. She is happy. And the title of my book, what the book is called, is Breathe With Me, using breath to feel strong, calm, and happy. And Monica just said that her breath going slow or going fast makes her feel happy. So we are always breathing. We're always breathing. We are always breathing up and down, in and out. You just felt that. I am showing you a picture of a girl with her eyes closed, and it is showing that she is breathing in and out. It's also showing her with her friends, doing different types of breathing. So you just felt that. We know that our breath goes in and out and up and down. Our breath can be short. And this shows a picture of a girl, and she's picking up her feet and stomping. Our breath can also be quick. And she is moving her body like we did earlier when we moved our arms and our body. That makes our breath feel quick. The next page says we can breathe slow and long, and it's showing a picture of a girl closing her eyes, laying on sand like she's at the ocean, hearing water, the ocean waves. This is what I really want you to know. Are you ready? What else can our breath do? You can have one deep breath in and one long breath out, and it can make you feel better. It can make you feel calm, and calm sometimes helps us feel better. And this picture is showing the girl laying on her back. She looks like she's laying on a green lily pad in the water. And she has flowers around her and fish. And she's laying with her stuffed animal bunny, who also has their eyes closed and practicing their breath. The book also tells us that we breathe 25,000 times a day. That is a lot. It would take us a really long time to count that. So sometimes when we're trying to get out of bed, if you're tired and it's hard, we can practice breathing to help us get up. And this is showing a picture of a little girl her mouth is open while she's in bed, and her arms are reaching up, and she is stretching towards the ceiling, towards the sky, and she is trying to wake her body up. So this is where we're going to practice our breathing, just like the girl is practicing waking up in the morning. There are so many different ways we can breathe. So this one, she is trying to sit up tall, which means our head is as close to the ceiling or the sky as we can get it. It's not to the side. My neck's not touching my chest, but my head is up. And I am trying to reach it towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to practice my breath. In the book, she lifts her arms up while she breathes in, towards the sky. And while she breathes out, she moves them down back to her chair. And if you can't move your arms, you can still just breathe and try to sit tall towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out. And she does it 3 times. We're gonna do it one more time. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. I don't know about you, but my body is starting to feel more calm. And in our book, she talks about different times where she needs to breathe. So sometimes when we go somewhere that makes us nervous or that we're new, that's new to us, we start to feel a little scared. And so it says when you go somewhere you've never been and you're not sure what to do, you can use your breath to try to feel better and more comfortable. So this is showing a picture of a little girl and she is walking in the grass and she sees a bunch of friends. She sees people and they have little hats on their heads and then there's a sign that says happy birthday and they're holding presents. It is someone's birthday party and she feels nervous to go to a birthday party. The next place that she goes is to school. This picture is showing her at school. She is sitting at a desk with paper in front of her, and she has 2 friends standing next to her. One friend looks surprised. She has her mouth open, and she looks a little scared. The little girl is sitting at the table and looks upset. Her eyebrows are down. Her hand is on her cheek and her mouth looks sad. She is frowning. And it is because something spilled on her art, on her paper, and that did not make her happy. So sometimes when we're upset, we can practice our breath. Or we might feel sad. I'm showing you a picture of a little girl who has tissues in her hand and she has tears running down her face. She feels really sad because she sees out the window that her mom is walking down the sidewalk and is leaving her house. And she misses her mom. So she feels sad. What do you think she can do to feel better? Any ideas? I have one. Oh, we have a few comments. Monica says breathe, and so does Nadia. Nadia says that she can also use her breath to feel better. You guys are so right. You are so right. And the last page that I want to show you is that she says, oh, and we have another comment from Cami, also says breathe. You're right, Cami. Breathing can help us. Your breath is always here for you in a calm and quiet way. You can use it to help you choose how you want to feel in each moment of your day. With one deep breath in and one long breath out, you are on your way. And it shows a picture of a heart. And the little girl is standing in front of the heart and she's making a heart with her hand shape. And she is smiling. And she is looking at her bunny who is smiling back at her. And the bunny is also making a heart shape. Sometimes we use hearts when we feel happy. And that is the end of our book. I am so glad we had a chance to learn about our bodies today. We learned that our mouths and our nose and our lungs can all help us breathe, and that sometimes our breath feels fast, sometimes our breath feels slow, and that every day we can practice our breath by feeling more calm and practicing breathing slow, which remember, it helps us. It helps us feel still and ready to learn, to listen to our teachers. And it also helps us talk with our friends or learn about things that are around us. I hope that you enjoyed your craft and that you will continue to practice breathing as much as you can. And that is it for our class today. You are all done. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Amy. Boy, I almost feel calm, like I could take on the world with those breathing exercises. That was wonderful. If anyone is listening, next week on Tuesday, we will have a lesson in Spanish for children about cooking. And so if you want to learn a little Spanish, you could step in, but it will be all in Spanish. On Wednesday, it is lights, camera, social interaction. We're talking about theater. And on Thursday, it is Mindfulness Matters. So we hope you join us. Again, thank you, Amy. This was wonderful.
You're so welcome. That was so fun.